People call me a racist all the time. Myron, you're a racist. You're not even black. You're not one of us. You're Sudanese, right? You ain't one of us. You don't understand our struggle, all this boy. Here's the thing. I actually do, okay? Because if we want to go ahead and play the fucking victim card, you want to know who can play the victim card better than all you motherfuckers? I can. Because not only am I black, despite what the idiotic FBA's got to say, I'm also an Arab Muslim. And last time I checked, after 9/11, that's not a good combination to have. I've been profiled at airports. I've been profiled in stores. People think I'm going to steal, and they also think that I'm going to bomb the place. Okay? So if we want to talk about being a black man in America, times that by 5 when it comes to what I've been through. However, I don't go on the internet and bitch about my circumstances. And quite frankly, I could bitch than more than any of these black people because I get it from both sides. You guys think the cops pull me over and be like, are you a foundationally black American? Like, no. They just see skin color brown. Oh, he's all right. Lock him up. Right? When I'm going through TSA, they see my unique ass name. Amber Photo. What the fuck? Hey, you got to go over. We gotta search you. Right? So, trust me, when it comes to bigotry and racism, etc., I've experienced all of it. Okay? I can sit here on a soapbox and cry about it all fucking day. But I don't. You want to know why? Because that's what everyone does. Everyone wants to be a victim. Everyone wants to feel sorry for themselves. And they all want to go ahead and get people to give them preferential treatment. I refuse to do that. I refuse. I refuse. Because my thing is this. Kevin Samuels famously said the world doesn't owe you understanding, and I've always kept that in my mind, and it's very true. The world does not owe you understanding. All they know is pattern recognition and stereotypes. And stereotypes a lot of the times are attributed to things that tend to be true. There's negative stereotypes out there about Muslims and blacks, and I happen to fall under both of them. So I'm not gonna sit here and cry about my circumstances like, hey, you need to give me the benefit of the doubt. Ah, stop profiling me. It's always gonna happen. People are always gonna profile you, it doesn't matter. Your job is to prove them wrong. Your job is to come in, speak in an articulate manner, not be successful. Let your reputation precede you so they don't see skin color in them anymore. They see an individual. Okay? This is America. This is what you got to deal with when it comes to multiculturalism. Multiculturalism is going to lead to inherent racism, bigotry, or whatever it is. It is what it is. So instead of me crying about it, it's like, I'm a black man in America, this sucks, No. I say, I'm Amber Fuddle, aka Myron Gaines. You guys know me for me, and you don't know me for my background. My race does not define me. My background doesn't define me. Okay, my racial background and my lineage. That doesn't define me. My actions and my behaviors define me. My character defines me. But if you want to go ahead and make everything about race and take this victim narrative that so many people in the black community think, by the way, like this stupid over here, guess what? They're going to do exactly what you're crying about, which is profile you. Because that's what all the other stupid do. Cry about race.
Profound words from the world-renowned scholar Myron Gaines. You know, profound words, because, you know, Myron be coming with it. Myron be dropping them gems. Myron be letting us know because he's so educated. I mean, so prolific. The way he puts together his words, his sentences, the way it flows, you know, it can't help but touch your heart and touch your brain and make you think, psh, you're right. Myron said racism don't exist. So racism don't exist because Myron said it. And Myron is a genius. Myron is a top-notch scholar in the world. He's respected across the world. His theories, his ideologies, his opinions, statements, all of that is respected around the world. So all you lazy Negroes need to stop complaining about racism, right? Because the more you complain about racism, the more you keep it going. Because Myron Gaines is stupid. And Myron Gaines is helping me set my foundation. Because, you know, we're going in on Larry Elder today. And Myron Gaines is helping to set the foundation because according to Myron and Larry Elder, systematic racism is not real. Something we keep talking about. You know, it might have existed at one point in time in history, but it don't exist no more. I mean, why would systematic racism need to exist? I mean, black people be happy. You heard Myron. I mean, stuff don't be happening to him, and he black. Stuff don't be happening to him. So, you know, that's the same thing as somebody saying, well, you know, I don't smoke crack, so crack don't exist. You know, crackheads don't exist because I don't know any crackheads, so crack can't exist. You know, violence. I don't see violence at all in my community, so violence can't exist. It's the same logic, but they're trying to convince us. He's trying to convince us that, hey, I don't experience this, and I'm an immigrant, and other people like me don't experience this. So y'all just over there crying because you ignorant Black American folk. You know how y'all FBA ignorant, ADOS ignorant, Black American people be. We crazy over here, us Black American people. We crazy because we still think systematic racism exists. All right, well, you know, I mean, we got the ability to think over here. We got the ability to gather information. So, you know, we're going in today. We're gonna have some fun on this Tuesday. Last couple Tuesdays, you know, we've been a little serious talking about the dynamics within the male and female relationship thingy. But you know, and shout out to Brother Terrence, you know, but we're gonna come back to that at some point. But for right now, you know, we got other topics to cover, but also there's all 9 areas of human activity that we got to look at as far as how white supremacy affects all 9 areas, right? So that's what we're getting into today, man. Appreciate you all for being here. Welcome. Please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share. I continuously telling you all, I appreciate you all for showing up here and rocking with me on these Tuesdays, these Saturdays. It's a school night. We're here on a school night. So since it's a school night, might as well we get our learns on this good school night. FBA Brother One, what's up? That's right. Shake your head. Hey, man. Larry Elder can jump off a building. Myron Gaines can jump off a building. Battle Genja, front row seat, all up in here. I feel you, my brother. What's going on? Happy you here. Renee Woods, my sister, as always. How you doing? Good evening. It's a school night, but we in here. Let's do this. I got my pajama pants on. I'm ready. My main man, the real Nemesis X, just put your suit on and tap dance and get that. Howdy, sir. I'm Myron Gaines. Howdy, sir. You know, Myron wants to be accepted by them folk, but them folk done already told him, Myron, you are not welcome. They told him, when we build our all-white utopia, your black ass ain't welcome. That's what they told him. The black man called Preston. How you doing, my brother? Good evening, B1 up in here. Because Myron Gaines telling us Black Americans, we cry too much about racism. Uptight 24 Shalom and Positive Tuesday vibes, FBA. B1 family, you already know we up in here. I appreciate you all being here. Battle Genja. Y'all come and get your. Hey, man, we serving up. We serving up on this good Tuesday night. We ain't giving you no ham sandwiches, no plum. We ain't giving you none of them summer camp lunches or none of them summer camp dinners. Nah, we finna eat. We finna eat some food for thought. You heard me? Professor Carr taught me how to cook. Hey, man, you know, Nemesis always bring the good drinks, man. Nemesis always get the good drinks going. Professor Carl, you know, he the caterer. I done called it out. I'm scrambling up mine. We get it how we get it, man. I love it. I love it. Good vibes. More than you know it. Hey, man, we getting into it. So, you know, I like to set foundations, right? And so, once again, that's why I started off with the video of Myron Gaines, because Myron Gaines is echoing the sentiments of Larry Elder that systematic racism in America is something that doesn't exist. And we are crying about a myth, crying about a ghost, crying about something that doesn't exist. And he's saying it doesn't exist because of the experiences that he has had. Well, I mean, I'm gonna knock on wood, hopefully it never happens, but I've never been harassed by police. But that doesn't mean police harassment doesn't exist. You know, some of the things that have happened to Black people that you know, negatively that disproportionately affect black people has not happened to me as an individual. But I'm not dumb. I'm not crazy, right? It doesn't have to happen to me for me to know that it happens. You know, I've never been in an earthquake, but they happen every year. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot, but that's logic though. That's critical thinking though. But they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, right? And so Myron comes at it from an ignorant standpoint. Larry Elder comes at it from a more of an educated standpoint, but you got to be listening. I mean, I'm pointing at my head. You got to be listening to what Larry Elder is saying, because Larry Elder be saying a lot of nonsense as well. But you know what? We got our own scholars too. So I'm bringing Neely Fuller up in here. So I got Neely Fuller, who's going to be telling us about the 6 most confusing things about how systematic racism works. You know what I'm talking about? Because you want to bring y'all scholars, we got our scholars too. All right. He needs to take a look at how the young white supremacists over at Turning Point gave Vivek Rama the business over his religion. Hey man, Myron is on his knees, hands on Caucasian cheeks, face to pelvis. Myron got stuff too far down his throat to pay attention to what's going on. You know, when we did a breakdown a couple weeks ago, Myron was mad at the white dude because they wouldn't let him in. They wouldn't let him in their utopia. And he out here doing all this caping for him. So he's stupid, yeah. Yeah, but he's not gonna look at that. He needs to be, he's not. Yeah, they do. And you know, Larry Elder and Thomas Sowell, those are their I guess you could say educational or academic champions or whatever. So yeah. Finally, the truth. This is StreamYard. I've been on the StreamYard for a little minute. I be rocking out on the StreamYard, and they be upgrading stuff. I got my music, my sounds, and everything. You know what I'm saying? I got my applause up in here. You know what I'm saying? Then when Larry Elder started talking, you never met Dr. Martin Luther King. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, the StreamYard. So said Vivek been boo-booed on white people at least 5 times in public. He's still about, hey, yeah, man. All them folk got leashes around their neck, and you know, they want that pat on the top of their head. They want white people to say, hey, let me in. And white people not letting them in. So yeah. To my Thomas Sewell, yeah, I bet he looked like he smelled like the sewer. You saying what's the link to StreamYard to like download it, or you talking about to get on? What you mean? Yeah, Thomas Sowell, man. Myron the fool, man. Myron the fool. Yeah, hey, that's what they want. Let me in. And the white people explicitly telling them, if you're not white, you're not getting in. And they called Myron the saying N-word. He didn't like that, but they did. Well, so I have a rule for everybody. So if you want to get on this stream, you got to email me. Then we have a conversation. You email me, we have a conversation, and then we can get on, because that's what Terrence had to do. So if you email me and we have a conversation, then we could do that. I have a rule because I have to make sure I vet everybody before they get on the spot. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect, but that's for everybody. So because I got to get back with PhD. So that's my rule. So we can make sure we do it. And because, you know, I want to make sure I have a certain structure for the show. So if I have you on the show, I want to make sure you're within the structure of the show, and you're not in the structure of the show right now. So I have a rule. I have to stick to my rule with that. So no disrespect. Says Thomas Sowell keeps the illusion going, but that's why they rock with him. Oh yeah, man. Frequently hanging on the Hoover. Yeah, on his knees. Dora Fail, greetings. How you doing? So, like I said, they brought their idiotic academician, whatever they want to call Larry Elder, you know, in the same lane with Thomas Sowell and all them other people there. But you know, We got Neely Fuller in the building. Neely Fuller in the building, and we're talking about 6 most confusing things people get wrong about the system of white supremacy. So please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we'll do it like we do it. So let's ride.
No, these are 6 things that they do for confusion. As far as I know, it's 6. And major things. It might do a number of small things, that I haven't recognized to cause confusion. But it's 6 basic things. Now, this is not in the textbook. I've been talking about it for years, and I intend to put it in an updated, expanded version of the textbook. But it's racial classification confusion. Now, you got a little bit more of that going on now with some recent incident of a white lady saying that she was black. That's racial classification confusion.
Okay.
All right. Second, racial dislocation confusion. Now, they have had this all the time, meaning keep those squatters moving. In other words, if people are non-white, keep them moving. Why? They have found out from experiments, from experience, that if you keep people moving all the time, everything from people going across the desert trying to find a way to get some food, some clothing, some shelter, some jobs, or people trying to cross an ocean and their babies falling into the water and whatnot, and turning over. That's dislocated people. They are not stable.
Okay.
They're trying to find a place where they can go, where no one is trying to harm them.
Right. Okay.
Right. Also, dislocation means you have your things sitting out on the sidewalk.
Okay.
All right. Now, you might have done that about 3 years before then. See, the white supremacists, when it comes to black people, keep those black people moving.
Keep them moving. What's the third thing?
The third thing is racial population tailoring confusion. In other words, don't let the population in any particular place get too big. It becomes difficult to handle.
So you tailor it, huh?
Yeah, so you tailor that population. You have all kinds of ways. You spread disease.
Okay.
All right? That's one way of getting rid of some people.
Yeah, like Ebola or
something like that. Right.
Yeah.
Or you just hand out guns to 50% of the population, and you don't give the other 50% any guns.
Okay.
Or you give them all guns and let them go at each other. So you make sure that you tailor their minds so that they are mad at each other. They are gangsters and all like that. I want to be a gangster.
Right.
Okay, now when you get to be a gangster and get your credentials, who are you going to gangster against?
Yeah, street
cred.
Well,
other black people. That's all I ever see you do.
Yeah.
All right? So, big deal. That's all a part of the racist scheme.
Number 4?
Okay? Number 4 is racial sexual confusion.
Wow.
So now you got trans this and trans that and trans that. Then you mix that trans gender confusion with trans racial confusion. Now you got the package that you was aiming for in the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, they started off with transgender, but I've been telling people for years, oh yeah, that looks like that's mundane. That's, we all have people who are, what you call bisexual or trisexual. Even among black people, we all got them in our family. If we're not those ourselves, okay. So we say, well, that's no big deal. But you got to think about what the racists intend to do with that. So they mix the transgender with the transracial.
Wow.
See, now they got maximum confusion, which is what they want.
Right.
Okay. Now you go to number 5, racial showcasing confusion.
What's that?
That's putting a few black people, all black faces that used to be to the back. We want them down front now. Okay. Put black faces down front on a whole bunch of stuff that the white supremacists are going to be doing in the back. But you have a black face up front. Now that makes black people get mad at the black people who are up front.
Right.
But it's the white supremacists who are back behind the curtain.
Who orchestrating the whole thing, yeah.
Yes.
Puppet master.
So that causes confusion, and it also causes black people to start attacking each other, and the racists are back behind the wall just cracking their sides laughing. Say, we got them again. I mean, these people are the dumbest creatures you'll ever see because they can't catch on to nothing. All right.
Okay,
Then
number
you
6.
go to number 6, racial white sacrifice confusion.
White sacrifice?
Yes, meaning when you drive down the street and you look out your car window, you see some white people on park benches. You see some white people who are out there barefooted in the wintertime. And you see some white people walking around talking to themselves and whatnot and don't have anything. I mean, and you say, oh, racism is over, because look, if you got white people who are poor, you got white people that don't have anything, you got white people who are suffering, just like black people. So it's not racism. It must be something else. No, the white supremacists operate on a percentage basis. They know that, and they even put in position in the path of danger a certain segment of white people. They'll just pick out white people, so to speak, and just throw them under the bus. This is to distract non-white people to thinking that racism doesn't exist.
Yes.
But they do it on a percentage basis. See, for every 10,000 black people that they kill, they'll kill 10 white people and say, see, it's not about race. I mean, people just out here killing people. That's all it is. See, but it's always the black people who are the greatest number of people suffering. Okay. That's the way they operate.
Of racial equality. And
shout out to the elder Neely Fuller for always dropping that knowledge, man. Right? Always dropping that knowledge. Just like this now, EBT, right? So let's go back through them, right? Because once again, we're setting our foundation before we get to what Larry Elder is talking about, because Larry Elder is refuting the idea or the existence of systematic racism. But we're making sure we understand what we're talking about. We're making sure we all on the same page before we get to Larry, because ain't no confusion on our end. We ain't gonna make sure we ain't gonna have no confusion on our end. Respect to you too, Joshua. It's never truly mattered to the elites of white supremacy. They come from a feudal existence. The many or yeah. But see, that's why I love, Neely Fuller's quote, like, if you don't understand the system, is everything else you think you understand only confuses you. Racial classification, confusion. They're going to classify us. They're going to define us for us. That's what we've been talking about in our book readings. They're going to define us. They're going to classify us. They're going to place us within this hierarchy based on skin color, based on physical features, based on these things, right? Now, it's on us to fight ourselves. I said that word. It's on us to fight ourselves out of these racial classifications, but we have to, be on code. But being able to understand that it's the confusion that they impart on us to breed inferiority, to breed a group of docile people, to breed people who don't believe in themselves, people who won't fight back. Racial dislocation, purposely moving people, purposely dislocating people, purposely making sure that you take people's lands and you tear down where they live at. You spreading people, like when you see projects getting torn down and people spread throughout the city, or people's lands getting taken, they spread throughout the city. You like, it's purposeful movement of people. We're gonna make you move. We're gonna and matter of fact, not move. We're gonna dislocate you from where you are. And even if you own the area, we're gonna dislocate you from your wealth. We're gonna dislocate you from what you own. Perfect word, dislocation. We're gonna rip you from there, remove you, forcefully remove you. Right? It's never truly mattered We read that. My bad. Hi everyone. Ash, what's going on? How you doing? How you doing? So, racial population tailoring confusion. The A word with the babies. The A word. That at in abundance. Us taking each other out in abundance. Health issues in abundance. Addictions in abundance. Like all type of ills, all the ills that you can think of in abundance, as well as them doing it themselves as well. If we're not doing it fast enough, they'll do it for us, or they'll help us do it. That goes to the tailoring. System of white supremacy, right? Systematic. It's not supposed to be in your face. This is 2025. The bulk of it is not going to be in your face. You're going to have your one-offs. You're going to have some people that go by the old ways. But for the most part, it ain't going to be in your face. Many don't understand that Fuller was an active combatant, spoke of war as an activity, but we avoid by faith combatants. I mean, you know, we scared. We scared. That's really what it come down to. We are afraid of what we really need to do because we know it can get rough out there, you know, and we're not as bad as we say we are in mass. Now, we got some soldiers out there. Don't get it twisted now. We got some soldiers that can get it done, but we don't have enough. Too many N-words. Not enough black people. Not enough strong black people. Too many N-words. With white supremacy, the rules constantly change. Like our brother Neely said, what's up today is down tomorrow, and what's left is right. It's time to figure out. Yeah, basically. But look at the outcome. Look at the effect. Look at all those different things. Look at the principle of it, right? Said racial sexual confusion. And then he paired that with transracial confusion. Convince us to accept all types of norms. He's saying this is a deliberate plan to make sure that the population stays at a specific rate. All my life, 41 years old, all my life, our population, from my understanding, have not dipped no more than 15, maybe 16%. It hasn't gotten higher than that. The black population has pretty much stayed stagnant my whole life. That sounds like going back to racial population tailoring. But the racial sexual confusion and transracial confusion goes into the population tailoring. I'm just saying it ain't got to be in your face to be happening to you. It don't have to be in your face to be happening to you. Confuse us about sexuality, genders, all those things, how we relate to each other, because that affects the family. That affects the building of the family. Also, get us to accept anybody as black. And anybody can be black and anybody can give up their blackness, because it's just blackness, man. It's just blackness, man. You know what I'm saying? Convince the masses, man. Convince black people of all that stuff, man. You know, we rock with it. Racial showcasing confusion.
Me a racist all the time.
Here we go.
You're a racist.
Here we go.
You're not even black.
The tap dancers, right? The hide subs, the people who put on the white gloves. Right? The people who put on the white gloves, who will champion the system of white supremacy, who look like us. They look like us. They are part of the system and they champion the system. And those are the handful of black people that the white supremacists use to say, hey, I told y'all racism ain't real. Look at these folk. Look at Myron. Look at Candace. Look at Officer Tatum. Look at the Hodge twins. Look at the other ones. Look at Larry Elder. Look at the great Thomas Sowell. Look at all of that. One-offs, right? People who do not represent or even contribute to the masses of black people. But hey, because they are black, just because they black, they're able to be used as mascots. I can't get my words out. They're able to be used as mascots, and they're able to be used as the excuses to say, hey, well, look, Willie Earl made it. So if Willie Earl can make it, anybody can make it. We all know what Willie Earl doing behind closed doors. And then the last one is racial white sacrifice confusion. They'd be willing to take their own out. They'd be willing to starve their own. Like, you got to remember how Europe was, right? Feudal. Nemesis said it earlier, feudal. They were feudal people, right? So they were, I mean, they built this stuff on taking each other out. They don't have no problem taking each other out as long as they don't take the ones out that really matter. If you're being taken out, you probably don't matter, or you did something wrong or whatever. You just part of the sacrifice. You just got to be a part of that for the greater good of white supremacy or whatever, right? But it's a part of the game. We have to understand it. All white people not going to be able to benefit the same from the system of white supremacy. You're going to have your poor. There's always been rich and poor in white societies. But white supremacy, even at the beginning of white supremacy, even at the height of white supremacy, poor white people existed. There's no point in time where white supremacy existed and all white people were good. Nah, man. That's not how that works. You still have that rich versus poor dynamic going on. So they will sacrifice some of them for the greater good of the others or the system to maintain itself. To make sure we understand what we're dealing with. Make sure we understand what we're talking about. All right. So that gentrification equals dislocation. You already know it. You already know it. Many don't understand that Fuller was, I said this. Yep. Said with white supremacy, rules constantly change. We said that we are dealing with warlike people, and war includes places over war, one things. There you go. Savages. Fuller gave us this knowledge decades ago, a great scholar, right? But we don't be listening. We don't apply nothing. That's why we still out here crazy. But he also told us that we was insane. PC already said it in the Independence Project. Get the infrastructure correct, build it, and rely upon self. Question has always been, are we prepared to pay the price? No, we're not prepared. No, we not. It's not enough of us prepared. No, we not. Most of us not prepared. It might be a handful of us, but nah, we not. Statistically speaking, the most dangerous place for a black life is in the womb of its own mother. I be hearing that, but you got to understand it's still within the system of white supremacy. And that goes back to the racial tailoring. It's a part of the programming. They programmed us to exist like this, right? Yes, there are too many A words that happen within the black community, but why does it happen? What's the root cause of that? I'm not excusing our behavior, but we do know the root cause. We do know the root of it, going back to racial tailoring, confusion. Yep. They create the system of confusion just for us. Yep. And I always say, white America's greatest invention was the nigga, the racially confused person. Herman Cain, another one. There you go. Oh yeah, like Dr. Africa said, they turn on each other to maintain. You know it. Yep. He did say that. Now when I put up that a little bit ago, we are insane because we're trying to. Yes. But this is the only world we know, and right now, white supremacy is the most powerful force on earth. It's the most powerful system. It's the most powerful religion. So we don't know how to exist outside of the system of white supremacy. We don't know anybody that knows how to exist outside the system of white supremacy. So we have to learn a new way to exist. So I learned a new way to exist, but we gotta learn a new way to fight back within the system of white supremacy. I'm with you though. This world is insane, but it's insane because of the system of white supremacy. So man, hey man, let's go ahead and listen to Larry Elder lie to us, man. Let's get to it. We got our foundation set. We good. We on the same page. Y'all let me know. We got our foundation set. Y'all fit. Y'all, we ready. We ready to give Larry Elder the business. Y'all let me know. Get down in the comments. I ain't gonna start the video till y'all let me know that we ready. If I say, is y'all ready? Y'all put in the comments, say, I sure is. So is y'all ready? Y'all say, I sure is. We keeping the look. We gotta be a little country. A little bit country. A little bit country. Say ready. The white folks that aren't getting snapped are surprised. They're being thrown under the but they don't. I don't feel sorry for them because they don't read. They don't read. Donald told y'all what he was gonna do. That's what I'm talking about, Joshua. That's what I'm talking about. We in here. I sure live. We ready, man. The ice cubes are ready for. Hey, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Eyes show. There we go. But yeah. If I had to have a drink, hey, bro, look at here. I thought about it. But I was like, well, last time I had a drink, last Friday breakdown, I was on some wine, you know what I'm talking about. I had to get my words out today because we got to get Larry the business. But once again, if you are a white person, whether you voted for Trump or did not vote for Trump, and you are surprised you lost your SNAP benefits, that tells me that you don't read. He told you what he was gonna do. Told you what he was gonna do. So what is that? What did Neely Fuller just tell us that was called? So we all on the same page. We got a good understanding. We ready, man. We ready. I definitely don't feel it's like the Hispanic and Latino people who was out there. We vote for Donald Trump. We vote for Donald Trump. We vote for Donald Trump. Whatever they were saying, right? All those people, like, he was talking about deporting people for the longest. What they mean? What were you talking about? What were they talking? He was talking about deporting people for the longest. That was one of the main things his platform was built upon. So let's listen to Larry, man. Larry Elder, man. Hold up. Oh, hold on. Amina is in the building. Yeah. You in here. That's all that matters is you up in here. That's all that matters. You in here. Welcome. We in here. You just in time because we about to go in on Larry Elder, who finna lie to us about why why systematic racism don't exist. So yeah, we been having a little fun. We opened up going in on Myron Gaines. We set a foundation. Now we about to go in on Larry Elder. It says Latino for Trump, Cubano for Trump, Deporto for Trump. They all stupid. They don't El Rito for Trump either. So I don't feel sorry for somebody. Like it's not like he hid anything. We did shows on it. Here, me, PC and Pat. We went through Project 2025. We went through Agenda 47. We went through all the things, all the talking points that the Republicans was talking about. We went through them. What were they listening to? I don't feel sorry for nobody. If you vote for somebody, you don't read their policies. You crazy. We keep telling you read everything. Read. If you don't want to read, I can't help. I can't help your ass if you don't want to read. So, all right, Larry Elder, let's do this. Hey, he ain't finna get the big screen. He finna get the mini screen. Happy BS goggles on. Larry Elder is coming up. Hey, man. Hey, yeah, you know how Larry do. So let's get this thing going. Please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and share. Please hit that like button. Let's get these likes up. Let's get it going.
Well, let me ask you then, based on what your dad was saying, you mentioned Jim Crow South. Mm-hmm. Your father, they wouldn't give him work, outright slurring at him. why don't you? First, I guess the question is, what do you think systemic racism is? And then why would you say there isn't any?
Well, systemic racism means top-down stuff, the way it used to be during Jim Crow. I'd ask you to give me the example of a corporation, Fortune 500 corporation, an institution, college, media, military, where there's top-down racism. You can't come up with it. The media is relentlessly left-wing. Academia, same thing. The military is quite diverse. Give me the name the corporation. Whenever there's a corporation where somebody says something arguably racist, like Texaco did a few years ago, CEO on tape referring to the employees as, I don't think he said N-word, but he said something disparaging. Goes on TV, apologizes. Texaco loses hundreds of millions of dollars in equity, and then they end up having a program to advance the careers of the black employees at Texaco. Papa John, remember he was on a call one time. He said something. He was quoting somebody else and said the N-word. Lost his own company. There's a guy named John O'Sullivan. He used to be the editor of the National Review. He said white racism exists, but its social power is weak. The social power against it, overwhelming. There's no upside today in any corporation blatantly, openly, even subtly being racist.
So let me
Nobody. Well, you gotta be like LeVar Burton, read, Anchor, read here. Hey, yeah. So, and I'm gonna put it back up. So he's getting into. That's why we had to set the foundation, because we already got answers for this stuff, right? So he's talking about, my bad, racial white sacrifice confusion, right? So because white America don't have the control it used to have, that means systematic racism don't exist, because racism is not in your face. It don't exist no more. And I need him to explain what exactly he means by top-down racism. Like, be specific about what you say top-down racism is. Because is he trying to say that wealthy white people don't have, I guess he's trying to say wealthy white people don't have the control that they used to have. So therefore, that is a sign that systematic racism don't exist. White people can be punished for their actions. So racism don't exist. What y'all think? Y'all tell me. Am I on? Am I off? Am I hitting it? What am I? My bad, Nemesis, my bad. He means racism as open. I mean, you know, it's not the Wild Wild West. So if it's not the Wild Wild West, then it can't be racist, because, you know, it need to be open and in your face. He clearly lives in a different planet. I mean, he live on the planet like planet Slurper White. That's what planet he live on. Him and Myron and Thomas Sowell and all of them live on planet Slurper White. Larry is Larry, I got a coat on. He turncoat. Yo, turncoat, Larry, you turncoat. Yeah, you turncoat. I appreciate that, man. I just want to make sure I'm making sense. I want to make sure I'm making sense. Yeah, Larry out here. Oh, look at his eye. Larry on that stuff. He got to be on that stuff. Come on, man. Anybody, look at his eye. He on that stuff. Planet Slurp A White. That's what they call it. Planet Slurper White. Third planet from the sun. Slurper White. Most rich blacks exist on. Yeah, they do. They do. They think the world that they exist in is actually the world that all black people exist in. So, you know, Planet Slurper White. It's not just him listening to. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Will Smith let Jada Pinkett take his manhood, so we ain't even. We don't even listen to Will no more. But yeah, you got a point. You got a point. No metaphors is advised because we don't do well with them allegories. It defaults most black to theoretic programming. Most black people don't know what the hell you just said. But I'm with you though. You're right. Hey, he got a white girl in his nose. That's what it looked like. But let's get back to it though.
Let me get your thoughts on this. I was down covering the Ferguson riots back when the Michael Brown stuff happened, and I did a documentary on what people there referred to as systemic racism. How it was explained to us is St. Louis is actually a very small city. Outside of St. Louis, in St. Louis County, actually, it's like 90 some odd cities.
Right.
These cities were formed when, are you familiar with Pruitt-Igoe? It was one of the first, if not the first, community housing, project housing, and it was in St. Louis. And once it fell into disrepair, you started to get crime in the area, things started to get bad. And white people in St. Louis started to flee the city and then form new surrounding suburbs.
I bet you middle-class blacks also fled the city.
It's possible. So what happens today is you have areas that are, you end up seeing racially fractured communities. One area is all white. They had racial covenants, which were eventually made illegal. But then you have, a white grandfather gives it to his son, who gives it to his, son or whatever. You have areas that are predominantly white, black, or otherwise. What ends up happening is you have impoverished black people as a result of a lot of these policies. Because of the way the cities are set up.
They should move.
Well,
and nothing's stopping them from moving. Move.
We interviewed.
I'm gonna get back to what they're saying. You should just move. You should just move. Shut. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even take the time to learn. I've seen this dude before. I've checked out maybe a couple bits. I didn't learn this. I didn't learn his name. My bad. Hey man, Nabisco. Call him Nabisco. The white Nabisco saltine. There you go. But I don't know. But listen to the bull. It's coming out of his mouth. Hold on, let me put it back up. Racial showcasing confusion. Let me put that back up. Let's get back to what he's saying. You should just move.
People and asked them about it, and they said,
"Move." I lived in Cleveland for a number of years, and I remember when I first got there in 1977, there was a newscast of all these white people living in Akron, where there was 25% unemployment, complaining about the steel mills going away, Rust Belt. And I was looking at the television, and I said, "Move! But what's stopping you from moving? Get up
jail,
and
for
move."
instance. So
what do you mean jail?
So I want to get your thoughts on what their accusation are on their claims. What ends up happening is something they call going on tour, where if you have a busted taillight and you drive from your town 4 miles to your job, you go through 4 or 5 cities. You get pulled over in each one, you get a ticket in each one, and then you go on.
Like, just move. Like, if there's disparities in your area is not yielding what you need, you have disparities of yourself, just move, man. Just pick up and move, because it's really just that easy. It's really just that easy. That's how you know he's disconnected from real life. You can't even tell poor white people to just pack up and move. If I'm a single dude, I could just pack up and move because I'm by myself. If I have a family, I can't just pack up and move. Neely already told us. Just move. Just pack up and move. Just get out of the area. Just get out of there, buddy. Your life will be better if you just pack up and move, because it's just that easy. It's really just that easy. Just move because we have all kinds of money. I'm just saying. It sound good to him within this bubble. Life don't work like that. If life worked like that, if life really worked like that, you would it really still be poor people? Will it still be disadvantages? And then, like, like Battle again just said, you know, historically when black people have got up and moved and created their own, white people came in and destroyed it because they got jealous. And also they ain't want no competition. Black people cannot build power. In reality, like in the real world, even me as a single dude, I can't just get up and just move today. Even though the white dude going, I had $200 in my pocket. Yeah, but what was your position in life? What did you have? Did you own anything? Were you established? Did you have any equity? Did your life have any equity where you were? Like, were you of any value to anybody and anything? Were you actually a part of a community? Like, what was all the factors that went into it? That's what I don't like. But now, give us all the details. Don't just be talking. Give us all the details. But let's let them keep going though.
Tour through their jails, where one $20 infraction you can't pay for turns into 4 weekends in jail, where they keep trading you to the police stations. So this is what they refer to as remnants of racial covenants, which created multiple jurisdictions, which have a negative impact on people today.
Okay.
We did ask people, why don't you move the area? Well, people who have negative bank accounts, I mean, theoretically could just start walking. But I think for a lot of people that they don't know, or it's
where are they going? Theoretically start walk. If you have a negative bank account, no resources, no opportunities, where are you walking to and why? For what? What's the end goal? What's the destination? You just gonna walk to the nearest big city and just hope something happens, and something just supposed to happen just because you showed up? What's the opportunities? What's the resources? What's the chances? How realistic is it? Like the young people that I work with, I do a real life assessment, right? I do a real life assessment. And any of their dreams that they have, we sit down and we assess how realistic it is. What do you have right now to actually make that happen? If I'm poor, I'm destitute, under the poverty line, I have nothing, I can just start walking. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna walk, and life just gonna work out because we walking. That's how it happens, man. That's how it happens, you know.
it's just not reasonable, I suppose. I'm not saying that is systemic racism. It's what they claim is systemic racism. And it's how
I of course followed Ferguson greatly, and the Obama White House comes in and they accuse the Ferguson PD of being systemically racist for the reasons that you mentioned. It turns out that Ferguson is 67% black, but 85% of the traffic stops were of black people. 18-point gap, ergo systemic racism. Apply that same logic to New York. New York is 25% black, but almost 55% of the traffic stops are for black people. That's a 30-point gap, even bigger than Ferguson, yet NYPD officers, street officers, majority of them are people of color. Turns out that Obama did a study called Race and Traffic Stop, came out in 2013 by the National Institutes of Justice, which is a research arm of the DOJ. And you name the traffic offense, a black motorist was more likely to violate it, whether it was speeding, driving with an expired tag, driving without the proper headlight, driving without a seatbelt, driving without a child safety seat in the back. When you have a kid, you name the offense, black motorists were more likely to commit the offense. Stop committing crimes. If your tail light is busted, fix it. Don't expect people to give you some slack just because you're black. Fix it.
Damn. He just fixed it. He just fixed it for us, man. All this time, we've been thinking that it's because of the things that white people have instituted into the fabric of America. And it was really just that black people just need to stop committing crimes, like stop committing traffic violations. So because you have a number of black people that would commit crimes, that are deviant, that means that white supremacy don't exist. Because there are no cases of black people who are doing nothing, who are innocent, that get harassed, jailed, detained, all these things by the cops, right? Framed by other people. Police used as a weapon. So because you have a number of black people who do commit crimes, y'all listening, right? Make sure y'all write this down. Because you have a number of black people that commit crimes, that means systematic racism don't exist. Because it's not really systematic racism. It's black people committing crimes. Because we know black people commit the most crimes in America, right? According to him. Okay. Okay. A 2023 bank survey found that 57% of Americans could not cover an unexpected $1,000 expense from their savings. But in the Planet Larry Elder, aka Planet Slurper White, we can all just move anywhere. Just pack up and move. Just start walking. Just do that. Let's do that. Just do that. Why does this Judas even have a day? Man, because we got to break everything down. We got to understand what we're dealing with. We gonna understand everything. They told us to study everything. Our scholars told us to study everything. We gonna study everything. We're not emotional. We're not gonna be emotional about this. We're not gonna be emotional. This is all us taking in this information, studying, making sure we understand our enemies and everybody who rock with them. Yep. Black motorists are not more likely to do these things than Marcus. Man, Larry Elder got on casket makeup. We ain't finna listen to no man with casket makeup on. We're not gonna take him serious, but we breaking it down. We understand it, but he got on casket makeup. Come on.
Take responsibility.
The response we got was that if you have to choose between paying for gas or registering your plate or whatever, people are going to choose probably to pay for the gas to move the car, knowing that they're going to get, they run the risk. The issue is the structure of the jurisdictions turning one infraction into 4, which then results in you get a ticket you can't pay. It's $50. You say, well, I couldn't pay for the $20 registration. I can't pay for the $50 fine. So the police come and they say, you're going to spend a weekend in jail then. But the moment you get out of jail, the next department is waiting right outside saying, you're coming to us next. So what they refer to as institutional racism is not that the individual officers are being racist, but that due to the remnants of the past, there are negative consequences for people who live in this jurisdiction today, and they don't know what to do to stop it, solve it, or get out.
Again, I would just say it's a real simple solution.
Don't
commit crimes.
Look at him. Because, what he's saying is profound. It's so scholarly. Just don't do the crime. Look at it. Why do I keep... Look, that's the second time I can pause this and caught them eyes like that. I'm just saying. Casket makeup. I'm just saying. He looked like Count Chocula, older brother. Count Dracula from Sesame Street looked like one of their older brothers with that casket makeup on. We can't take him serious, man. Real pasty. Appreciate you, Devitra, for saying it though. The Judas have to be studied. To ignore them only allows new ones to be born. Yeah. We got to study everybody and everything. We have to. I keep pausing it like that, man. That's his fault though.
In Baltimore, where Freddie Gray died. Freddie Gray died in police custody. Remember, he was the one who was in the van.
Yeah.
There were 6 officers who were prosecuted. 3 of the officers were black. The state attorney who brought the charges was black. City council is all Democrat, majority black. The mayor was black. Number 1, number 2 running the police department, black. The U.S. Attorney General at the time, Loretta Lynch, is black, as was the president.
Hey, Tone, why should people come to the AI Advantage Summit November 6th, 7th, and 8th?
It's a good ad, isn't it? Pretty simple. I'll tell you what it really is. We're in a situation where it happens
What up, boy?
Now, these are black people running the entire system, and still people are talking about it being systemically racist. I'm reminded of that joke that Wanda Sykes said. How are you going to complain about the man when you are the man? And I'd like to know what the officials are in St. Louis, who they are in all these areas. My suspicion is they're regular people trying to do their jobs, and they're not bigots. I just think this is just...
Well, and you can still say the system's broken. You can still say that people should not be dying in police custody. You can still say that cops need better training.
But do them on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
He got a powder. He got I'm gonna be good. I ain't gonna say what I want to say. That's on his face, but yeah. It says, question: why do the Larry Elder style rhetoric repeaters omit we've had no break to heal ourselves from U.S. past and current COINTELPRO? Because they don't care to input that information, because that will debunk their narratives. They're not trying to have their narratives debunked. They're trying to have their narratives proven. So you can't when you out here lying, you can't really put truth in there unless you just that crafty, and he ain't that crafty. I mean, look at his makeup. He ain't that crafty. So that a period?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It should be case by case, and it always has to be all or nothing when we're screaming at each other on Twitter. But like a lot of times, it's not racism. It's that cop didn't train jujitsu and doesn't know how to put on a proper chokehold, or doesn't know when a person is completely out and just needs.
Well, see, to his point though, it's not that the cop killed him. It's there's no real consequences after the cop takes out the black person. And it's, first of all, the cop should not even be taking out somebody, but they already know that there are no real consequence. We were just talking about the other day when the cop got the second degree on Saturday with Sonya Mass. He got second degree, right? There are no real consequences. It's not that the cop will take him out. It's what is the consequence? And how is that behavior deterred? And that behavior in that person is protected by the system. So yeah. Say count chalkula. They don't care about healing. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and apply. Hey, and why they not pulling themselves up? Why white folk been steadily getting bailed out by the government? They be lying. That face shaker, man, you can tell when the brother quits the hard fried bologna and eats meth. He eat mayonnaise, all right. There you go. That's how we gonna say it. He eat mayonnaise, all right. He sure eating mayonnaise.
To be trained.
There's a city in California called Rialto. Rialto is around 100,000 people. Racially, it reflects the demographics of California. The same percentage of Hispanics, blacks, Asians, and whites. And the cops a few years ago were ordered to wear body cams. They didn't want to at first. And they wore them. After a year, what happened? Police complaints fell 90%. And police use of force fell 50%. Not because the police were engaging in any kind of different activity. They behaved as they always were. They've always been trained. Civilians stopped lying on them. And they started complying. And as a result, the police didn't need to use the force anymore. They stopped filing lawsuits.
There are black communities where police don't have to go in and do nothing because black people know how to act. But that don't mean systematic racism don't exist. There are whole black communities that are not harassed by the police. Of course, their income is different, but they exist. Does that mean systematic racism don't exist? Or according to Larry? Yeah, but you know.
And because it's illegal to file a false lawsuit against a cop. So it turns out the civilians were the ones who were making a bunch of false allegations, as did Michael Brown during Ferguson. Michael Brown's friend who said, hands up, don't shoot. Turned out to be a complete lie.
He lied.
It was, I think, Holder. Eric Holder's Department of Justice.
At the time, yeah. And it turns out that the...
Hold on, Larry.
And you lying. You ain't never met Dr. Martin Luther King.
One more time.
You ain't never met Dr. Martin Luther King.
Lying ass Larry.
Michael Brown's DNA was on the officer's gun. He tried to get the gun, and his friend, I think his name was Dorian Johnson or something, said that my friend said, hands up, don't shoot. And it turns out a complete and total lie. They lied. The police are lied on all the time. And when they got busted because of Rialto, they stopped doing it.
I just wanted to circle back real quick to what you were saying about, actually what Tim was saying about this kind of, when you feel like you're underwater, right? I don't have money to get out of these situations. I think a lot of what we're talking about right now, it's institutional problems, right? It's the government, welfare state. We're doing a lot of talking about them. But for people listening to the show, right? Before you have a kid, before you're ready, or split on the mom, before you end up in a situation. I mean, man, I've been in situations where you just feel like checking out is the only answer, where it's, you know, you're broke and you finally get a thing and then that falls through and then you just keep digging. What's your, because man, I was so touched by the story you told about your dad.
I don't know what Larry Elder grew up. He probably grew up in some white man booty hole, probably. I don't know. He probably grew up in the white man booty hole, so yeah.
What's your personal advice? So forget the institutions
it's real simple.
Listening.
They're probably the most prominent think tank on the left is the Brookings Institution. And one of the ones on the right is called the American Enterprise Institute. They don't agree on anything, but they agree on what they call the millennial success sequence. Finish high school.
The white part of LA.
Ideally one where you can read, write, and compute at grade level. That's why I support school choice. But first of all, finish high school. Don't have a kid until you're 25 years old. until you're 20 years old. Get married before you have the kid. Get a job, keep that job, any job, even a minimum wage job. Don't quit it till you get another job. Within 6 months, you'll get.
PC in the building, though. Professor Carl Tone Jones in the building. Hey, Larry Elder is the white man's defense attorney, and he give Deshaun Watson style massages to white men. Yeah. He from South Central. He from South Central white. That's a white man's booty hole. I mean, in the South. It's South location. It's a South Central location. It's a white man. He from a white man's booty hole. We ain't finna say he from LA. He gonna be from a white man's booty hole tonight.
The race. And finally, avoid the criminal justice system. Committing an act of crime is a voluntary act. You don't have to do it. You follow that formula, you will not be poor, and you'll get to the middle class.
Hey man, because it's not really that America is racist. It's our behavior. It's how we carry ourselves. It's our character. It's what we don't do. It's what we don't know. It's us. It's not them. It's us. It's us. So let's stop blaming white people. Why y'all blaming white people, man? All y'all in these comments be making me blame white people for this stuff. The conservatives are getting paid by think tanks to promote division. It's a stage, and these people are paid actors. And he got his white gloves on. Hey, PC, man, you got to help me get me some minstrel show sounds. So when we do stuff like that, we got the hottest us. Yep. So that's how that's the money he get to pay for that lame ass makeup he put on his face. Looking like, look casket sharp though, I tell you that.
You don't, there's a very good chance you're gonna be poor.
So there's I agree mostly. I would just say when it comes to at least where I grew up, ignorance of the law is no excuse for breaking it. So I, as well as many other people, have found ourselves unwittingly having committed a crime, not realizing it was because it was seemingly innocuous.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you get a ticket when you're driving in Illinois, you can keep driving. It's no problem. You got a ticket.
Well, forget what he talking about. But okay, if I grew up in low income areas and I'm never afforded opportunities to do something different, why is my area void of opportunities while the area across the tracks have all the opportunities? Why are opportunities and resources continuously poured into this area and not poured into that area? Somebody have to give me a chance to be a somebody. I'm just saying, everybody who's a somebody gave them a chance to be that somebody. Y'all just tripping. Ben Carson already said, we came here as tourists, just work. Damn, Nemesis, you right, man. It's the end of the show, y'all. We right. What Ben Carson said is right. Matter of fact, we walked here over the water. We walked to come and tour America. We came to look at the Grand Canyon and was like, dang, how we gonna get to America? So we walked across the water. So, yeah, man. Real talk. As a social scientist, there's a reason he speaks like that. Due to racism, this is what's known as broader. Yep. To appeal to the white masses, to appeal to the booties he be kissing. Saying the right stuff, got the right tone, right vernacular. Hey, man, shout out to my fellow social scientists.
It's like, so you drive, they take your ID, you keep the ticket. When you get pulled over, you show them the ticket. They say, okay, you pay it off. They send you your ID back. What I didn't know, because they don't tell you this in driver's ed or anything, is that if you get 2 moving violations under the age of 21, they suspend your license. So sure enough, I got a Class A misdemeanor, which was a threat of a year in jail and like a $2,500 fine. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just something I could avoid. I didn't even know it was happening. Mm-hmm. So that took away my ability to drive for like 2 years, because not only was my license suspended, then I got caught driving on a suspended license, which I didn't even know was suspended.
And you couldn't blame systemic racism.
Well,
no, he did.
My point is simply, though,
straight up, Josh.
I feel like the system is a simple way to put it is, it might be easy to say avoid the law, but for a lot of people, the system is just busted.
Yeah, well, and same with
these ways, right?
I was just gonna say same with sex education. So much sex education is not the best in this country, and I feel like, especially for if you're pro-life, you should want the best sex education possible so that people don't even get into a situation where they would even want an abortion. So maybe a lot of it does start with education when it comes to the law, when it comes to learning a trade, when it comes to sex education.
I think,
but Tim, it's hard to go to jail. They don't want you to go to jail, especially when you're young. They have all sorts of programs.
That's not true.
Juvenile programs, diversionary programs.
True. That's not true. Don't be listening to Larry Elder. Larry Elder is disconnected from what's happening in real life. It's not hard to go to jail. It's easy to go to jail. And once you get caught up in the system, everybody who works in the criminal system know he telling a lie. They know he lying. Once you get caught up in the system, it's hard to get out. It's easy to get in, hard to get out. It's easy to be reoffended. It's easy to be, have somebody lie on you about some parole and all this stuff. Come on, man. It's all types of stuff that can happen. I work with the DJJ system. You're not finna sit here and lie to me, bro. He's disconnected from real life. He lives on the planet. What I said, white slurper white person, something like that. White slurpula, something like that. He be on his knees for white people. Just know that's where he from. I thought this dude was somewhere under a rock after the last 2 political run losses. Nah. I think this is the old video though. He probably is under a rock trying to get some new makeup. So Larry Elder lame, but we making sure we study everybody. He a lame. Yeah, he capping. He straight capping. He be lying. Lying ass Larry. Lying ass Larry. Christine in the building. Where my claps at? Christine in the building. What's going on, Christine? Welcome. They definitely want you. They make money. That's how they make money. I'm just saying. They make money. Michelle Alexander is a lie then. All that work. Hey, man. Yeah, all the black scholars are liars. We all liars. Look at our lying. Look, we got the skin to be liars. The prison system is, man, Larry. Lying ass Larry don't know what he's talking about. That's why he got on that whack ass makeup. So let's let it play for a little bit more. Then it's a school night. Y'all know y'all got to get ready for school in the morning. So hope y'all got y'all clothes picked out already. And took your baths.
It is hard to go to jail. You've got to commit a crime to go to jail. You got to hurt somebody to go to jail. It's hard to go to jail. They don't want to put you there. Gavin Newsom released 8,000 convicted felons, some of whom were violent felons because of COVID. They don't want you there. The idea that somebody is hiding behind a tree with a net looking to snare black people is just a lie.
For sure. But and again, I think we're outside of racism at this point. Just talking about I paths to success. Right. I would agree for the most part with you. I think the issue of crime is not even about jail. It was about I wasn't able to drive for 2 years on it. At this point, it's like
that'll make it harder to get a job.
I couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, I guess I'll go live in the city where I don't need to drive. I had no choice.
You're still in America.
Absolutely.
You're still in America,
Absolutely.
where people in Cuba are braving shark-infested waters to get here, where people from Haiti are trying to get here, Central America, Mexico. They would love to trade places with us as we sit here in my.
Because everybody who has not made it in America don't work hard. Everybody who may be under the poverty level don't work. Let me give you the Larry eye. Let me look at you with the Larry eye. Everybody who is under the poverty level, they don't work hard. I hate when the conservatives, I got the Larry eye. Try to get, okay. It look crazy. But I hate when the conservatives be trying to use that work hard narrative. You just got to work hard. If it was about hard work, you know how many people would be successful if it was just merely about hard work? You know how many people bust their ass? Let me do it again. Hold up. Okay. You know how many people bust their ass on a regular basis to make it? You know how many hardworking Americans there are in this world? And for some punk ass man like Larry Elder. You just got to work harder. Just got to work harder because he willing to kiss white booty to get to the top. That's crazy, man. That's so disrespectful. Like people work they ass off every day to make it, and you telling people that just need to work harder. Go to hell. Nah, Larry, you know what? I'm gonna just chalk it up to Larry being a dumbass. I'm gonna just talk it up for fun. Larry gonna be a dumbass tonight. He ain't gonna be a troll tonight. He gonna be a dumbass tonight, right? And Larry, his job on the plantation is to be called into the master's quarters at night. Let it play for a little bit more. Once again, it's a school night. Please hit that like button.
Bitch and moan about relatively minor things.
Now I agree with you on that. My attitude on all this stuff is when you tell people to move, like that's actually what I did. So I did that too. $200 in my pocket, and I found a ride share to California, and I was like, I'll sleep on the beach. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to stay in a bad situation.
Right.
And so
poor people can't find ride shares. People who really poor, they can't find ride shares. It's not going to happen. You're not going to do that.
Attitude actually is very much in line with that.
You pick up your cards and play them to the best of your ability. That is your duty. That is your moral obligation.
I thought it was interesting how you talked about not knowing the law about the tail, was it tail lights or suspended license getting rid. Like it's systemic ignorance maybe of the law. But what it makes me think of when I think of systemic racism is that 200 years ago, all these black people from Africa were slaves, and they were intentionally not educated. They were intentionally not taught to read and write. Then they were eventually let out or whatever. Slavery ended. They had kids. They didn't know how to read and write. They didn't know how to teach their kids. The kids didn't know how to read and write. Then they had kids. And for the most part, education is passed down generation through the family. Without that, we have a systemic ignorance problem. But they call it racism just because they happen to have been from Africa, those slaves. They could have been like Italian, you know, they just weren't at that time. But maybe there was a reason that their skin color was dark. I just don't think it's a skin color issue.
I think that's a good point. I think the implication today is, you know, often what I talk to people about is the policies of racism have like been made illegal. And you actually can there are people who make money suing whenever they perceive it. Like right now you've got these selected videos where a Muppet person won't hug a black kid, but they don't show you the videos where the Muppet people don't hug the white kids either and things like that.
They're just very bad Muppets, you guys.
Or whatever you call them. I don't know if they're Muppets. Just like a mascot.
Nobody says that that's systemic racism. Nobody. Shut up. I'll get off my screen. Nobody says that that's systemic racism. Nobody worry about no damn Muppets not hugging nobody. We not talking about. Nobody's arguing about those silly ass viral moments that happen on social media as the rage bait. He don't know what he like. I don't know, PC. I don't know, man. But then to try to use some innocuous stuff like, well, you know, somebody's not hugging, they're getting hugged by the muffin. That's okay, whatever, man. Red herrings all over the place, whatever. Larry, just like so many other non-white people who don't understand racism, white supremacy, they think it doesn't exist until they get there. Larry, but that's by design for Larry, because Larry on his knees for the white man. But hey, man, PC, man. Stop trying to be logical, PC. You in here listening. PC, you in here listening to what he actually saying and critically thinking and stuff. You must be a black person. You must be one of them old thinking black people that white people don't want us to be around. That's why you be cooking and stuff. That's what they be saying when you be cooking. Hey man, look, man, get these fools off my screen. But you see, man, we ain't here debunking this stuff. Like we said before, you know, we're not giving Larry a stage, but we debunking all ideologies, rhetoric, and things for us so we can make sure we understand, especially for our young folk, because there's a growing number of young black people who are crossing these, crossing into the conservative space. In my world, black people wouldn't cross in either space. Yeah. Larry's stupid. Larry don't understand that he got on casket makeup, but okay. But there's a lot of our young people who are confused about the system of white supremacy. So they're confused about the system of white supremacy. They're disappointed by the Democrats, so they think they should run to the Republican plantation. I say run from both plantations. But rhetoric like his is helping to recruit young black people, and we got to make sure we're refuting it and making sure that we letting people know what the truth is. Don't listen to people like Larry Elder. He don't know what he's talking about. He don't know what he's talking about. I appreciate you, Joshua. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Got the G check that turncoat ass Larry Elder. Yeah, man. Sambo. Shine bone turncoat. So man, school night, man, and I gotta eat, get up out of here, get up early in the morning. We got some important stuff to do. Got to get to the monies. But I appreciate you all for rocking with me again on another Tuesday night. Shout out to my brother Terrence. I'ma holla at you. We're gonna get up again. I just realized he hit me up on the WhatsApp. I didn't know. My bad. But we up out of here, man. Uptight 24. Appreciate you being up in here, my brother. Thank you. Joshua, thank you for being in here. And I'll tell you, look, if you wanna join the show, email me. We're gonna have some conversations, and then we're gonna see if everything work out. We're gonna see if everybody's a match. That's how we do it. I just want to be fair for everybody. Until the day when I have a show, it's gonna come a day where I'm gonna have a show. I let people up, but until then, email me. We have a conversation and we see if we're a match for everybody. And if we're a match, then we'll make it happen. Amina, thank you for tuning in. Always appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Renee, you already know I appreciate you. Yes, sir. PC, man, thank you for being in the building. Thank you for tuning in, my brother. Devitra, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for adding to the conversation. Battle Genja, my brother. Appreciate you, my brother. Who else was up in here? The real PhD, my sister. Nemesis X, my brother up in here. You already know what it is. Mistress Koala. Thank you. Gwendolyn Scott, thank you for being up in here on this good Tuesday night, this school night, knowing y'all got school in the morning. Knowing you got school in the morning up late with me. But I appreciate it though. So I want to make sure I give you some enriching information, something that we can use. Tell them don't believe the hype, man. Do not believe the hype. Ash, thank you for being up in here. And I think that's it. Hold on, no. Finally, the truth. Door of L, thank you. Finally, the truth and Door of L, thank both of you. And let me see. FBA Brother 1, thank you. I appreciate all y'all. I know, man. Supposed to be in bed at 9:30, 10:30, man. Got to get up out of here. My mama finna be mad at me tonight. But I appreciate you all. Make sure you catch tomorrow's video at 1 p.m. Thursday's clip at 1 p.m. Of course, that breakdown Friday coming that Friday at 1 p.m. And we're going to be live again Saturday at 3:30, getting down, doing what we do, how we do what we do over here on the Shows of Giants. I love you all. Make sure you love yourself. Put your best foot forward every day. Be your best black self and go out and help to make your community better. Go out and make your area back into a community. Let's do it. Let's be great. Let's be black. Let's be great. Black power. Black power. Black power. Catch y'all on the other side.